Hey everyone, Ivy Lee Gaming here, and today we're playing Everlegion. Let's check out another fun newer game. It's time for another game to check out and a new first impressions video because, well, I want to give a little bit of my opinion of this game. This is very similar to the genre of a lot of the games I've been playing lately, and it's just one I wanted to take a deeper look at. I've had a lot of my guildmates from other games talking about it. I luckily have a pretty active community that are already very interested in this game. So when they contacted me, I was like, yes, I actually do want to check out this game, so perfect. But I do want to let you guys know ahead of time here, I do have a QR code up there and a link in the description and pinned comment. If you use my link, it could potentially benefit my channel, so that's always appreciated. So let's get to it. What is going on here? Look at these fun characters. I guess we could start off with the graphic discussion and first impressions. I think it's pretty fun, right? It's got a little bit of this fantasy vibe. There's a certain, I'm only looking at the characters I currently have right here, which is a little bit limited on this account, but some of them have some super fun animations. There's a little bit of everything. There's vampires and undead characters and witches and humans, and the story is a bit of a kind of religious theme too. They're like, as far as the gods that they worship, I guess you could say. And there's a bit of a discussion behind that, which is quite fitting because that is the reality for a lot of history as well, and a lot of stories are based around that. So we have a variety. You could see this game has different classes as far as like rare, elite, and then of course there are higher tiers as well, but we'll get into that. But for this video, I'm not going to dive too deep into like tips in a guide. We're just going to talk about my first impressions as I started to play. So let's take a look here. Again, graphics are fun. I actually like that this game is vertical as well. Just the way it feels, like on a phone, when you're playing vertical, it just doesn't feel like you have to overly stretch. Like when I'm horizontal, I'm like getting a finger workout trying to do stuff. But when it's vertical, I feel like it's a lot simpler controls, as usually things are like kind of at the same spot. So it being vertical is honestly a plus for me. I think we should talk about the battles as well. I like the battle system. It's pretty simple, and I also really like that the tutorial actually shows you how to properly position the character. So if you're starting out your account, make sure you actually take a moment and watch the tutorial, and it does tell you some importance. Like with that witch there, it has you move her to the middle because it'll make sure that her ranged ability actually hits everybody. So that does show you that positioning is going to be key for proper success in team compositions in this game. When it comes to doing your battles, which is the campaign mode, there's also an auto progress mode, which I think is great. Very quickly, I only played for a few hours before I was already easily able to auto climb, and that makes the progression a lot faster if you're just blasting through a bunch of content. It also does pop up with the story too, and the story can also be played on auto. So if you are kind of following along, you can get a little bit of a feel for it and not have to worry about keep on clicking. You could just have it be playing on your screen. You could play it, walk away, you could play it and watch it, whatever, but you can auto progress and not have to sit there and remember, oh crap, I'm clicking, oh crap, I'm clicking. I feel like so often when I'm trying to early progress through games that don't have the auto progress, I take longer than I should because I'm always multitasking, and even if the darn game is on my screen and I'm staring right at it, I'm like, oh right, click, all right, click. I feel like I constantly forget, so it kind of helps to eliminate one of those needs of just pushing through easy content. If you work on your heroes quite a bit and you're just able to blast through the campaign, you might as well be able to just let it go without having to click every time, right? So I think that's a very nice quality of life feature that you access very early on as well. I do have to say that I guess it's a little bit of a negative and a positive is there's a lot. There's a lot to do. Now, it's a little bit busy for me interface-wise. I guess that would be an honest critique, is it's a little bit busy. There's like a lot of red dots. There's a lot of clutter. It can be a little hard to see some things, and it can be a little bit distracting. But I think once I played a little bit, it wasn't too bad, and I tried mostly to stay on tasks that I had to do, and if I couldn't complete one of my tasks, like, okay, we're working on a main task, let's say I'm stuck on this stage. So instead, while I was stuck on that stage, I went to go do some tower. Tried to push some tower while we're sitting there stuck on a campaign stage. Maybe you'll get some more rewards that can help you to improve your characters, or some stuff to do some more summons as well. And oh yeah, speaking of that auto progress, look at this. Auto progress here in the tower right away. Hell yeah. I love that they have these auto climb features. It just makes pushing content so much easier. So it's just gonna automatically keep going up to the tower. I've played other games that make you have to unlock the entire tower the first time before it lets you auto progress again in a different difficulty. Or I've played other games where they make you wait till you're pretty late game before you can even unlock a kind of feature. Or even worse, I've played games that make you pay for these kind of features. And this game gives it to you right away, very early on. With just a few hours of gameplay, I've got all this unlocked already, and it was quite generous. Okay, defeated already, but I haven't progressed my account for today yet, so it's fine. One thing to note though here with the auto progress, if you fail, it will try again. But I think that's kind of cool too, actually, because sometimes it just takes a little bit of RNG, like these games like to give us, and you might fail it the first time, but then you have success the second time. Like right now. See, look at that. Look at how well that auto climb feature actually benefited me. I've never seen a game where the auto progress continues even if you fail. But look at that. That could have just saved me so much time. What if I set it to auto progress and I went to do the laundry and I came back and only one battle it failed and I was like, oh, I did nothing that whole time. But because it's actually extremely smart here and it continued anyway, I was able to progress and not just get immediately stuck. I'm honestly shocked that it works this way, but I think it's a huge plus and a feature that I wish more games had. I do have to say also that the game, besides having some nice, generous quality of life features, it feels very generous in its rewards. And that goes a long way, and I think that's really important on the first impression that someone has when they start playing a game. So I am doing so much to get, I'm getting so much for what I feel like is doing pretty little, honestly. Just by progressing my story, doing a little bit of tower pushing, I'm getting so many free rewards. I really am. And I love it. Like, I'm constantly getting hero fragments that are great for the fodder to ascend your characters to higher level here in the Altar of Ascension. I'm able to get summons very quickly as well. We've got some, guild hunts. There is, of course, a guild feature in this game. And even by just doing a little bit, I felt like I instantly was able to get some guild rewards, which was nice to see, which made me excited instead of overwhelmed regarding the guild content here. And yeah, summons, right? A lot of it comes down to summoning. And the summoning is in the tavern, and they allow you to get a ton of summons early, which makes it way more fun, right? It's so much more fun when you actually have a chance to get a bunch of characters early on in a game. And it also makes you decide if you want to reroll or not, which this game makes it pretty easy to reroll because you don't have to log into the game right away. So you can do some summons, have some terrible luck, and then you could just restart if you want to as well. Or you could restart on a new server if you want to do a new account with your friends and all start at the same time. I'll join when a new server pops and make sure you're all together. But luckily this game does have a guild feature that is cross-server. Like, I am in a guild with people from different servers, so it's not too bad, honestly. I think people server 75, 75, 77, 76. So this little guild here, I'm not quite sure exactly what the grouping is for the servers, but it is nice to see cross servers. Another game I had played recently only lets you have a guild with one server. That's so hard to play with your friends when you all have to start at the exact same time, or you're forcing people to go to old servers just to join you. That's definitely not ideal. So this is nice to see that this has a flexible server situation and setup. So I'm happy to see that here as well. And I know the Guild War is super fun. So I'm in a very active cluster. I can't get to this yet, which I need to progress so I can go help my people. At least I can do the guild hunt though and fight some monsters. But I was watching the conversations in my cluster of people doing the guild hunt and the guild war, and people were having a ton of fun. So I think this game definitely has a good aspect of interaction and a good community basis for stuff like Guild Wars. Now, I think I should also take a look at some of the packs and stuff, which I think seem fun in this game. There's a couple different lightning packs that they offer you. There's one with the first day you get offered to buy a better version of one of the main champions for like $1. They do have a battle pass type setup, which I'm a sucker for a battle pass. Personally, I don't know about you guys, but guilty as charged. I love me a battle pass. In this game, it's called a recruit pass here. There's a few different things here, but I really like this as well. I was already suggested that this is really great value. I think it's like $10 and you get a ton of stuff. That's like 20 summons there. What did I got? I would have already got 35 summons extra, plus 1,400 diamonds, cards for champions, 20 more summons once you get it after. Jeez. So many not free. So many resources from a low spend option is nice to see in this game, and it makes you have some hope that maybe it's not too pay to win, that it's actually a bit more low spend or free to play friendly. But I have, like I said, been suggested that if you're thinking of purchasing, that the battle pass is a great value, and I do at first glance seem to agree. Now, they have suggested passes based on where your progress is in the game. I also love these. They have this growth pack. Oh, I love it. So that's 45,000 diamonds? That's insane. That's a lot. 45,000 diamonds. So you get them as you progress through the story. These are normally one of the best values if you're thinking of purchasing in a game like this as well. $20 sounds like a lot, but that's a lot of summons. I have been suggested that because you get diamonds pretty easily, you're safe to use them as summons too, especially to get started and help to grow your roster. So if you want to use a bunch of these as summons, that's a lot of characters. Like, that is a lot. As you can see here, 29. I've already got enough for another 10 pull. Like, I have been guilty of using my summons. Or using my diamonds as summons. But you know what? That's part of the fun of these games, is to get characters. And luckily, I think at least for the first little bit of time, you're safe to use your diamonds as summons just to get your account rolling. And the game, again, is generous. So when a game is generous, and you don't have to worry that you're going to lose out if you have a little bit of fun with the gacha side of things, I think it also makes people more likely to be willing to spend, right? I feel like I'm going to spend to support a game that I feel is not stingy. If a game is generous, I'm going to be more likely to spend a little bit here and there myself. So I did want to take a little bit of time to talk about spending, because I think that this game, it does not feel overly pay to win, and based on talking to other people who I know play this as well, they don't feel like it is either. But they really do feel like if you do spend a little, your dollar goes a lot further than some games. So happy to see that for sure. There's even a PvP game mode called the Trial of Legacy. It continues for 14 days, where you can join against players in a matchmaking system. It's live in the moment, choices being made, you versus another player, to compile your ideal roster. As you go through, you can purchase extra heroes to make the versions you have even stronger, or you can exchange your heroes out for someone else if you're not liking your team composition. This is really, really cool. I am super surprised to find this, and I'm also loving the reality of this shop. You can get heroes from the shop. I mean, can't ask for much better than that. I love that they give you this opportunity to just play a fun game mode that's super interactive and be able to get some great free resources to go along with it. Again, adding to how generous this game feels already. I guess some other final notes I should talk about for some things that I like feature-wise in this game are like the Wellspring. This is kind of like an inherit system where you only have to work on 5 characters, and then other characters can inherit the levels of those, of your lowest characters. So like my lowest is 50, so anyone I put down here is going to inherit that lowest level of 50, which is really nice because then you don't have to try building up dozens of characters to fit all the areas of the game. It helps to save you on resources as well and allow you to focus your resources elsewhere instead of putting everything into levels, potions, etc. And definitely makes it easier to build people, and you don't have to worry about skill books because your level determines the skill. So I think the resource management for this game so far seems pretty well balanced. And let's not forget that this is an idle RPG, guys. There is the offline value. When you go to bed and you wake up the next morning, you're going to have a whole ton of resources waiting for you here. I already collected mine for the day, so it doesn't look too exciting at the moment, but it is nice to play a game with an idle RPG aspect to it, to where if you're stuck, you know, if you just come back to the game later, you're going to get more resources to level up your characters, and hopefully that can help you get unstuck. So I like to try to start up a new game in a proper account where I push a little bit further with my community, so I am going to do that. And what I'm going to do is when I see this hit server 79, I'm going to go ahead and start up a new account myself, where I'm going to switch to a new one and just roll with it. I'm not going to re-roll, but you can definitely re-roll before you link your account, and this game makes it very easy to do so. So that's another option as well. But stay tuned. I'll make sure you're in my Discord server. I will announce when I'm going to be starting that. Or feel free to download the game with my link and stuff now. Check it out, and you can see when server 79 pops, because it does show the newest servers on an account, so you can always see what's going to be relevant for starting fresh with your friends if you want to all start at the same time on a brand new server. And I am part of a very active Discord called, well, in Cluster, for the Celestials, CLS. We already have guilds for this game, so we can all join in Celestials together and be a part of the same guild. So far, it really does seem like a great idle RPG game, whether it's the main game you play or a game you play on the side with some others. I think it's a solid option that if you like this genre, it's definitely worth checking out. I like to try different games because it gives us all a chance to find what works best for us. Like, I might love this and it might not be for you, or I might not like something about this, but it might be exactly what you want. And that's what I'm trying to do as a content creator, constantly check out new games. And I am going to take some time to invest in playing Everlegion quite a bit and see what we think, and stay tuned for more content on my channel for Everlegion in the future. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, make sure you use my QR code if you want to download this, Android or iOS, or I have a link in the description. And again, using the link can potentially help to support the channel, which is always appreciated. So thank you guys for watching. Join me as I play Everlegion, and I'll see you in the next video.
Everlegion. Play for free now.